Greetings, dear viewers. This is your cowboy. I hope and pray that you're all okay wherever you are. This is your host, Cowboyet, and this is Cowboyet Construction Industry Forum on my YouTube channel, Kapehan kay Cowboyet. Once again, I welcome you to episode 3 of General Building Construction Inspectorate, entitled Common General Construction Project Control Procedure. Here in Chapter 3, I shall discuss using a flowchart the pre-testing and commissioning control procedure. Disclaimer lang po. Since this is my first published series of videos, I want to make clear that I do not claim that this series of videos I publish are in itself perfect. I repeat, I do not claim that these series of videos I publish are in itself perfect. The content of this General Building Project Inspectorate orientation comes only from my 30 years of professional practice, excuse me, and the trainings I gained in the construction industry. On the other hand, however, I would deeply appreciate any suggestions and or advices from those who have a good building project inspectorate experience or background, or from those who are more knowledgeable than I am in the field of general building project inspectorate that could contribute and further enrich the contents of these videos. After all, the main objective here is to fill the shortage of inspectorate requirements in the construction industry and, most of all, help our promising young professional engineers in their successful journey in the construction industry. And likewise, maintain the recognition and respect we, the OFW professionals, had obtained from our employers and our foreign national professional counterpart while performing our professional function working overseas. So, let's start the control procedure orientation. Pre-testing and commissioning control procedure. Whenever a construction or an installation project reaches its substantial completion level, it is a standard industry practice and or a requirement of the contractor contract agreement that contractors shall submit to the project architect engineer a final or a proposed final testing and commissioning methodology for review and approval before proceeding with the execution of the project's final testing and commissioning stage. The main objective of this process is for the contractor or supplier or manufacturer to define the method to be used so as to ensure that the final testing and commissioning to be done shall be carried out in accordance with the technical and or performance specification requirements of the contract document and the relevant standard publication and or the standard industry practice. Normally, as far as my experience working with construction management consulting firm, most of the time, we, the consultant, initiate this process. And we call this process the pre-testing and commissioning. And this pre-testing and commissioning shall be performed by the consultant in accordance to the following control procedure process. So let's start. Step 1. The consultant call a pre-testing and commissioning meeting to be attended by by A, the contractors or supplier or manufacturers. 2, the project architect engineer. 3, the project designers. And 4, the QS consultant. To discuss the following agenda. A, testing and commissioning method and equipment. B, testing and commissioning forms, standard formats. C, testing personnel and qualification. And D, testing and commissioning program. Well, the output document is a notice of project pre-testing and commissioning meeting. Then, the consultant RCM, beside the pre-testing and commissioning meeting attended by the contractor, architect, engineer, the designers, and the QS to discuss the above-mentioned agenda. The output of this meeting would be minutes of meeting. Then the contractor supplier or manufacturer using the standard document submittal form submit to the architect engineer through the consultant the following documents. A, final testing and commissioning method statement incorporating the above agendas discussed and agreed during the meeting. B, the project installation as built drawing plans. C, the synopsis of the operations and maintenance manuals complying with the specifications with sufficient details for the owner to operate, maintain, dismantle, reassemble, and repair any parts of the work. And D, other required documents required in the contract. The output document is a document submittal form plus the required attachment document. Upon submittal, the consultant document controller received and registered document submittal and required attachment to the standard project submittal registry log. Then forward the document submittal to responsible consultant architect engineer for review and verification, simultaneously notifying the consultant resident construction manager of contractor document submittal and formally transmitting to the designer contractor proposed technical testing and commissioning document submittal for review and verification. Now, the output document of this is a formal transmittal plus the attachment document submittal form and its attachment documents. Simultaneously, consultant and designer perform the review on the following contractor document submittals. A, project installation as built drawing plans. B, final testing and commissioning method statement. C, operation and maintenance manual. And D, other required documents as required in the contract. And write comments, if any, using the document review form and forward to the consultant document controller. The consultant document controller formally transmit contractor proposed testing and commissioning document submittal to the architect engineer. Together, if any, design document review form. The output documents is the formal transmittal form plus the formal document submittal form together with the attachments and the signed document review form, if any. The architect engineer through consultant, upon reviewing this, the contractor's document submittal and design document review form of the consultant and the designer, issue a formal PMI stating the date and time for a clarificatory meeting to be attended by the contractor, the owner, the architect engineer, the project designer, the project QS consultant, and the project construction management consultant to discuss and finalize the contractor proposed project final testing and commissioning submittal documents. The output document is a formal PMI for clarificatory meeting. The consultant called a clarificatory meeting to be attended by the contractor, the owner, the architect engineer, the project designer, and the QS consultant. The output is a notice of clarificatory meeting. The consultant resident construction manager preside the clarificatory meeting to discuss and finalize the contractor proposed project final testing and commissioning submittal documents. The output of this meeting would be the minutes of meeting for the clarificatory meeting. Then, the architect engineer, through the consultant, issue a formal PMI to formalize the owner's decision through the consultant for the issuance to contractor. The output is a formal project manager's instruction. Then, the consultant document controller receives and registers the PMI project to the project document registry log. Then prepare a formal site instruction and forward it to the PMI, the project manager's instruction or PMI, and the draft site instruction to the resident construction manager for review and his signature. The consultant resident manager review the PMI as well as the SI and then sign the SI for distribution to corresponding parties concerned. The output would be a formal SI plus a PMI. If the submittal is not accepted, the contractor shall immediately correct, or rectify or modify relevant proposed final testing and commissioning submittal document as agreed in the meeting and resubmit. And then repeat the process all over again. On the other hand, if the proposed testing and commissioning submittal is accepted, the contractor may proceed with the necessary preparation for the project final testing and commissioning and submit a formal request letter attaching a formal inspection request for the final testing and commissioning to the project architect through the consultant. And at this, the pre-testing and commissioning process ends. This concludes Episode 3, Chapter 3 of Common General Construction Project Control Procedure. Once again, I want to make clear that I do not claim that this series of videos I publish are in itself perfect. The content of this General Building Project Inspectorate orientation comes only from my 30 years of professional practice and the training I gained in the construction industry. On the other hand, however, I would deeply appreciate any suggestion and or advices from those who have a good building project inspectorate experience or background, or from those who are more knowledgeable than I am in the field of building project inspectorate that could contribute and further enrich the contents of these videos. After all, the main intention of this series of videos on general building project inspectorate orientation is just to provide a basic orientation on general building inspectorate to all new engineers who are aspiring to join the booming construction industry for the first time. I am hoping that the contents of these videos, episode 1 to 4, if totally viewed by the subscribers, can at least contribute somehow for a new aspiring architect engineer to be recruited or employed by prospective prestigious contracting and or consulting firm here in the Philippines as well as overseas. Before I formally signed off, if you have not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, I will appreciate it very much if you click that red subscription button as well as the notification bell so you can be notified of my next and succeeding videos. And if you like me to continue with this inspectorate orientation, please click the like button. Then share this video to other new engineers, especially your friends, so they too can possibly benefit from this orientation video. Thank you and God bless you. Also, if you have any comments and or suggestion, feel free to write them on the comment section below so I can read them and I promise to respond to you on my next video. I hope that this project inspectorate orientation provide you an understanding of general building inspectorate that could help boost your confidence, especially during the formal job interview to get admitted. Until then, this is your host, Kaboyet, on Kaboyet Construction Industry Forum of Kapehan kay Kaboyet YouTube channel saying, God bless us all and may God protect us all always. This is your Kaboyet now signing off.